got to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of divide. I'm hearing an echo. Maybe it's just speaking too loud. Instead of dividing them with lies. I'm still hearing something here. What the? We are also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hi, y'all. For some reason, I'm hearing everything everywhere without my headset. What the? But anyway, I'll get moving. I hope y'all well. I'm a little thrown off right now because of the volume in this room. They're working on it. They are working on it. Don't worry about it. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy, the biblical question: are you a pitiful person? Are you a pitiful person? That is the biblical question. And again, these questions are put here to encourage you to start thinking for yourself. Stop being a group thinker. I know most people are not going to do that. I understand. But stop being a group thinker. If you want real life and you really want to have an amazing life, you got to be an individual. It ain't going to happen any other way. It's not going to happen with the group. It's not going to happen with the false identities. It's not going to happen with your false ideas. It's going to happen when you just repeat something that someone else said and you feel good because you get a thrill of it from it. You got to be an individual, and you can truly be an individual. And the world will fade away. The illusion of the world will fade away. All right? It will fade away. But you got to be willing to overcome the world. Most people are not willing to. It's like they're losing their lives if they overcome the world and don't realize they're gaining a life. You got to lay down your anger. You got to lay down your fight. Most blind people think you should be fighting. The only fight you should do is when you have to practical fight, protecting yourself in a practical way. You don't want to go in the hood and let somebody beat you up, right? But there is no other need to fight at all. Can you imagine living a life without having to fight at all, except to protect yourself in a physical way? Practical fight. Some black guy walk up behind you and do one of those knockout games on you. You got to fight. because you're protecting yourself. I am not talking about that. Other than that, there's no other reason for a fight. Zero. Because if you notice, when you're out there fighting for other things, you don't win. Nobody wins, except the people who will brainwash you to convince you to go out and fight one another. They win material things, but not physical, not spiritual life, real thing. And they have used you to get the material things. What a mess! So the biblical questions are put there to encourage those who want to overcome fear and anger and worry and loneliness and doubt and try to compare yourself to others, concerned about what others think or say or do. You don't have to live that way. Amazing. But anyway, are you a pitiful person? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about trying to prove yourself to the world, or robbing the pharmacists, and now they have to take down all the products and put up pictures of the product in the store because they know you're coming in and snatching and grabbing. If you're out knocking out white people and thinking that it's funny because of the hatred of your heart, no matter what you're doing, and you don't have time to sit and watch the show, you know you can podcast it later, but you can also, anywhere in the world, be listening to the show while you're doing your activities, your daily activities, knocking out white people and getting away with it too, or convincing white people that they're racist. Do you know that there are black people convincing white people? Because white people say, I'm not racist. But they meet with black people at a meeting, and the black people convince them that they're racist. And the white people are like, oh, I'm racist. I didn't know it. My mama racist. My daddy racist. My children. Can you get any dumber than that? It's like convincing a man that he's a woman and a woman that she's a man. What the? A spiritual battle. Also, don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/JesseLeePeterson. Rumble, you got to know how to rumble. And Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. How was your Halloween yesterday? Did you go trick-or-treating last night? Oh, don't forget to follow, ring the bell, like, and do all those things. Hey, come in. I want to do those. We didn't get to some super chat yesterday, and I want to treat everybody fairly. We're going to do some super chats and your phone calls and everything. If you donate and have your comments, if you want to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. No, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk.
Good thing you were paying attention.
Buymeacoffee.com/ you were not?
Right.
JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com or Bond JLP on Cash App. So, Hassan, we're going to do Super Chat.
Super Chat.
Super
Chats.
We did not get to them yesterday. I was talking to Bill, and I couldn't help it. We did the whole hour. So if you didn't hear the interview with Bill yesterday, he's here the last Tuesday of every month. Podcast yesterday, 3 hours, but especially the last hour with Bill Lockwood, our friend, your friend, and friend of the world.
That was third hour?
Yes.
Wow.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. DJ on par with a diamond 2 days ago because we were remiss in not even finishing the super chat from 2 days ago.
I am remiss.
Have we started?
My headsets sound amazing.
Do they sound good?
Yeah, it sounds like the whole room is lit up. I can do them without the headset. It sound that way. But it sound amazing with whoever did whatever they did. Keep doing what you're doing.
Nice. Maybe that was Bill the engineer.
Yeah, something went on. Okay.
Have we started trolling Rome 13's birthday? Rome 13 is the gal in the chat. Or person in the chat. Thank you, Dijon Pa. Happy birthday.
I don't know what all. That's the name of the person?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Amazing.
Belated.
I don't know who DJ Paul is, but.
He's the one who gave the diamond.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Right. Hannes O'Callahan bought 3 coffees. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, crew. Thank you for showing the light. Capital L, light. For guiding me through. I see the thing possessing me more and more every day.
Nice.
I think he sees more and more every day, not the thing possessing him more and more.
Right.
I see the truth catching up to me. I am really now enjoying discovering myself, and recently it finally clicked, and my focus in life truly became know God above all else, and seek Him by observing the not me by doing the silent prayer. Now I am truly seeing the little bastard demon so afraid of the fake future. Now I can see it as not me. I am no coward. Focusing on the present has only deepened for me naturally. Thank you, Jesse. Double exclamation mark.
Amazing. You're welcome. And the one thing I know for sure, some things you might not be sure of. But the one thing I know for sure, every human being is possessed. Every human being. There's not one. And when you see that in yourself and you start to overcome it, you're going to clearly see it in others, and you will understand and you'll know how to deal with it. But if you don't see it in yourself, you're never going to understand it with others. And you're going to be on the run. You're going to be on the run. What the? But every human being's heart is evil until they forgive. The heart is wicked. Human beings are wicked. Everyone. Until they return to the Father. So stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to see clearly at some point, if you stay with it, you're not your body, you're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not even your voice. You're nothing what you think. Isn't that amazing? It's like the Christians think that they know God, they accepted Jesus, but inwardly they're miserable. They have anger, they're afraid, they're lonely, they're gripey, they're complainers, but yet they say, oh, I know God. Because they have an idea about God and don't know God at all and can't admit it to themselves. What a mess! So stay with it. Thank you.
Ruben Jamin bought a coffee. Good morning, everyone. I have a question for the expert or experts. I want to attend a church in New York City badly. I am a modern caveman of sorts and considered other humans as one entity for most of my life. I have a question about talking. Other than respect, what other social skills am I supposed to have? It feels like social skills is partly based on how well you can lie for no reason. Parentheses. Since I was a child, I have always been at the center of attention because of my humor and daring actions. I am aware I will be tested at church and want to overcome my fear of becoming a leader. During my first impressions, my quote-unquote boldness and my calmness, quote-unquote, causes people to circle around me until I self-sabotage or forget that I am not surrounded by comedians, close parentheses. Thanks, everyone.
Was there a question in there somewhere?
Yeah, he has a question. Other than respect, what other social skills is he supposed to have?
0.
Are you one of the experts?
No, you guys are.
Oh, okay. 0, Jesse said.
What do you say, Hassan?
Well, Jesse is the expert, so I mean...
No, I'm not the expert. You guys are.
You have to know how to say please and thank you.
Hello and thank you, please.
You have to be...
Mama. Oh, mama.
You have to keep your wits about you. Don't get in people's personal space. Also called social distancing. Don't look too bug-eyed in the people's eyes too much. You can look away, but don't look away too much. This is my expertise.
Oh, what a mess.
Hassan, save us.
I mean, I'm probably not the best person to ask, but because I relate to a lot of things that he said in that super chat. But yeah, just I would say be honest and as truthful as you can be, but watch yourself that you don't get a thrill from the
for the thrill of it.
from the self-sabotaging.
Don't overshare.
Maybe.
And keep this all in mind.
Hassan.
Repeat it in your mind as you're talking with people.
What a mess, huh? I say, I'm not the expert here, but I say the best way to be a social person is to be nothing. Don't be anything. Even not anything, you can't go wrong.
Nice.
Amazing. Yesterday, Hassan said that Bill was base.
Yeah.
Check out Bill's interview yesterday on the Jesse Lee Peterson show here, the third hour. And Hassan was like, Bill is base. I'm moving to Texas. Like, what?
He's literally moving to Texas?
You're like, what?
I'll be at the Sunday service, front row.
Church of Christ, Iowa Park Church of Christ.
I do recommend that conversation be made into a clip. I think that it would be helpful for people.
Yeah, we had that discussion this morning.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Rue Benjamin. Austin bought 3 coffees, and he has a movie tip. It's a little graphic, but it explores the depths of evil in a seemingly quiet, peaceful town. Nice.
I'll check it out. Thank you.
All right, and then
Send that to me.
okay. Someone bought a coffee. Since I've begun this journey and forgave my mother, I can really see and feel my soul when I am with God, and it is the most amazing thing I have ever experienced. To be honest, though, I don't feel it as much as I would like. Most days I'm going through the day trying my best to pray without ceasing, but I don't always know God is with me. At these times, I can get caught up in my thoughts thinking, am I doing something wrong? Is this normal? Does it make sense? I'd appreciate your input. Thank you. Thanks, emoji.
It definitely makes sense. But what you don't realize yet, but if you stay with it, you'll come to know on those days when you think you're not with God, that's just thinking. And thinking is lying to you. You are with God, and those feelings you get, those thrills and feelings you get, are not you at all. That's the false identity, the spirit of evil that made a home in your mind and emotions in your body, and you've identified with it, thinking that is you all your life. So it is not you. Just know that. Stay with the silent prayer. Pray without ceasing, right? By meaning be aware. Don't forget to be aware. And you will come to know that those feelings and thoughts and emotions and all that mess is not you, and you stop identifying with it, and eventually you'll be totally free from it. So you're doing just fine. When those feelings come, God is still with you. It's just that the devil is having a hissy fit because he doesn't want to have to depart from you. He wants your soul. All right? So you're on the right track. Just don't identify with the thoughts and the feelings. Amazing. Stay with it. Thank you.
Being enlightened till I rise, a monthly supporter on Rumble. Morning, y'all. Yeehaw. Cowboy smiley face emoji. Country and Western Tuesday. Hola, si, senor, mamma mia.
Amazing. That was yesterday.
Indeed it was.
What the? Thank you.
Brother Sonny over on kick.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Did you know? Says howdy to Jesse Lee Peterson.
Howdy
Nice.
to you. Thank you. On Kick. We are on Kick. KICK.com.
Yep. Punchy, get out that tree before you fall about a coffee. Jesse, you said that black people have, quote unquote, more anger than most people. But I thought you said you either have anger or you don't. How can someone have, quote unquote, more anger than another person? Isn't it like being pregnant? Either you are or you ain't?
Good question. What I mean is that for the culture of black people, most black people are angry and they are unwilling to look at it. They are catered to, so they won't look at it. so that they can be used for total destruction. So I meant like the population. But you're right, anger is anger is anger. You can't have more or less. Anger is anger. Anger is evil. But I meant the population. And there are some blacks who are starting to wake up. They are looking at it. But I meant the population of blacks seem to be, around the world, they seem to be unwilling to look at their anger. So thank you. Amazing. I hope that helped.
Dave, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Dave ZX6R says, thank you, Jesse and experts. You're amazing. There's so much evidence now of genocide in Gaza, and now the West Bank, no Hamas there. The Jews are actually the ones who took refuge in Palestine during World War II, but then they started pushing the Palestinians out of their own country, which has continued to this day. There are many Jews who are good people and do not support Netanyahu or the military action he is taking. I am not pro any side, but I'm against evil, says Dave ZX6R.
Amazing. Thank you. You want to know who the dream team is? Great White Hope, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin.
Nice.
The dream team. Thank you.
They just project manhood.
That's right. Isn't that amazing?
It is. Woozy bought it.
And that Polish guy. What was that guy?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. What's his name?
I blank.
He's off the bench. He's like a 6-man.
Who is? Repeat that, Sean. Dominik Torczynski.
And Viktor Orban.
Torczynski.
And
Dream team.
And Viktor Orban of Hungary.
Can you imagine we had those 4 guys just totally in control of the world, running the world? We would have peace on earth. We would just have peace. All the people from the SO country would have to stay in their own homeland. And if you're in that homeland in America or either one of those countries and you didn't like it, you were protesting against it, you get thrown out right away. Just take you across the border and throw you over.
Based.
Amazing.
Okay. Continuing. Woozy on Rumble, a Rumble rant yesterday. Mama will tell you to literally cure cancer and have you feeling bad for yourself if you don't. What the?
Mama love ain't that special. I was thinking the other day, because I talk to a lot of people all the time now, even when I'm out and about, and they're telling me the destruction of their mothers. And I was wondering, how come the destruction of the woman has been kept such a big secret for so long? And they've been pointing the finger at the fathers and everybody but the mother. And these mothers have been lifted up. They're called queens and everything. The devil has played a total fool of human beings. He is like cleverly working through the woman, but he's pushing it like she's a victim. And she needs you to worship her. I was thinking about those women that listed these places where you can't take them to eat, right? If a guy take them out. I'll be like, leave those bitches at home. How you gonna tell me where I'm gonna take you? That's just the wickedness of the woman's heart. The greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world that he did not exist. Thank you, Sean. And he totally exists through the woman. Every woman. Your mama, your grandmama, your sister, your friends, your wife, your daughters. He totally exists through the woman. Thank you, Eve. And the men don't know what they're dealing with because they're not working on themselves to overcome the mama. Why do you think God said we must be born again of the Father? If it was going to work being born through the woman, he wouldn't have said you had to be born of the Father. But he knew you were born of evil. Amazing for all people. Boys and girls, men and women. Amazing. Thank you. I don't know what I was responding to, but mama stuff.
Yeah.
Small update too. They have released a list of acceptable places.
The women?
Yeah.
See, the guys, you should give those women a total finger and stop catering to them. You're creating more hell because women don't know what to do with themselves when you're not leading them. But thank God there are women now who have heard, you know what, I can return to the Father on my own. I don't need the man to do it. I can go and forgive my mother. I can go and forgive my earthly father. They'll be fine. What a mess.
What the?
I'm telling you. Okay, thank you.
Henry Ford lives with a diamond. Lockwood is ripping apart the Judeo-Christian lie.
I was just to ask Bill, did he believe that we are a Judeo-Christian nation?
Oh, yeah.
It came to my mind, but it went away.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Amazing Asia bought a coffee.
Thank you, by the way.
My mama spirit is taken over, says Amazing Asia, and I feel bad if I don't send everyone coffee and donuts. Coffees and donuts, referring to the super chats. Laughing face emoji with tears. I'm treating you all how I treat my kids. If one gets something, the others have to get it too. What the? Enjoy, guys.
What? No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we don't think
Mama's love is so special.
we don't think like that.
I know.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Rocky the Mexican bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse. He black. Question. When people say, I go with my intuition or gut feeling, does it mean for us Christians the Holy Spirit?
I have no idea what they're talking about when they say that. That's a good question. I don't know. I'll start asking, see can I get more clarification on what they mean. It just may be another saying. Thank you.
The Great White Hope bought 3 coffees. I realized I was judging people, including parents, because I held them to a different standard from what I hold myself.
Yeah.
How do I stop being a hypocrite and be myself?
You're on your way by seeing it and admitting it to yourself. You're not denying it to yourself. You're on your way. Do the silent prayer and watch. And the light will bring you out of it. Amazing. Thank you.
The Great White Hope bought another coffee. How do you see yourself? Magnifying glass emoji at JLP and Hake.
How do I see myself?
I think that's the question. That's how I read it the first time that I read it.
Oh, okay. How do you see yourself?
I'm not sure anymore, but I feel like that's better. Because
Right.
I used to sometimes see myself as serious or unserious or okay or not that good. Pretty smart and sometimes pretty dumb. But I kind of like the not sure.
I can honestly tell you, as of this day right now, and for a while now, I see myself as nothing. I just see myself as nothing. And it happened over a period of time of working on overcoming the not myself, the things I thought were me. As I overcome those, there's nothing left. And so there's nothing to see. And it is amazing. Thank you.
JV, the Great bought a coffee. I'm writing Jesse's name in on the ballot for president and Bill Lockwood for VP. Time to make America great again. That would be amazing.
Thank you. I believe that Bill Lockwood, Larry Elder, would be a great vice president with Donald Trump. And then they would be prepared because they get all the insights, clue what's going on while they're with the Great White Hope. And then they would become president next time when Trump is gone. And it would just still be amazing. So thank you, though. Appreciate it.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse, James, Hake, and Bond family. Which restaurant in America do you guys think have the best onion rings? And do you guys love eating them? Question mark.
I like onion ring, but not that much. I don't know in the restaurant there.
I like them. I don't know. I couldn't tell you which restaurant. And I don't want to promote it out of turn.
Right. Amazing.
But
thank you all. We'll finish the super chat, your phone calls.
That's all for now, actually.
Some news items. Thank you so much. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, your phone call. Some news stuff that's going to blow your mind. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father, and you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it, and you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Did you catch Joel Friday yesterday? Joel Friday TV? He went overtime on his show yesterday, 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, Pacific time. I want to hear from you if you saw it. All right? Joel Friday TV. You can podcast it if you didn't see it. Let's see what's coming up. The Hake Report coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time, 9 a.m. Pacific time for the Hake Report. For personalized shout-outs, weddings, anniversaries, graduations, whatever, encouragement, go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And if you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven by phone, Skype, or walk-in. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663 to make an appointment. What else? Check out our merch, of course. We have the best merch on this side of heaven. Mugs, tote bags, hoodies, everything. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. You will not be disappointed. All right? Check it out. I want to quickly go to by the way, the men's forum tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, it is the first Thursday of the month. And every first Thursday of the month, men's forum. And third Thursday, ladies of the month, ladies forum. And those ladies forums, I'm sorry, guys, those ladies are seeking what's right. And it ain't easy for them, but they are not giving up, and they are arriving back to the Father, returning back to the Father. You can do it, ladies. Go and forgive your mothers. Admit the anger you have. And go and forgive her, your mama, and not your friend. And return to your fathers. You will never, ever know or love God as long as you reject your earthly father. Meaning, if you don't love him. Ain't no way. How can you love God who you never seen and hate your father who you have seen? Thus said the word. It's in the word. Let me go to Omar, first time caller out of Maryland. Omar, welcome to the show.
Hey.
You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jesse.
Good
How you
morning.
doing? It's Omari, just to correct you.
Not O-M-A-R?
Omari.
Oh, Omari. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We got it straight. He thought you said Omar.
Amazing.
Amazing. Omari, thanks for calling.
No problem, sir. I'm based in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm 23. been watching your show for like about 6 months on and off.
Yes.
And I just want to say, I definitely, I salute the information you passed down. I'm part of Gen Z, and to be so young, I do struggle with anger, and my beta ways from my mother and stuff like that. But I do look at your videos, and then I just take it in, and I really see the truth in it, and I don't really try to judge myself or get caught up on the thoughts. I just try to keep it moving
Nice.
and stay practical as possible, like you say.
Yeah. Have
But
you
aside
gone
from
and
that-
forgiven your mother?
I've attempted to. I will say that I've attempted to. I've tried to share your content with my mother. My father did take to the content, but I will say my father's very beta, and he has a lot of women ways and tendencies, and he hasn't really overcame his mother personally. So it's kind of hard for me and him to really connect. But I don't have any hate or resentment against both of them. But I do want to, while they're still on the earth, make amends with them if I can, not really have a relationship, because I'm kind of different. My father always told me as a kid, be a leader, not a follower. So I always try to just, roll with what I think is best. I am a conservative. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but I am independent. I just always try to think of any situation like, how, like with my mindset first, think from my own brain, not think of or recite what I hear from somebody else.
Are you black?
Yeah, I'm black.
He black.
He black. He black.
And so
Yeah,
why
I'm
haven't you
brother.
gone and forgiven your mother?
I've attempted to, but my mother has a lot of anger, and she has a lot of baggage, and she had a rough life of her own, and she really run from it. Like when I share this type of contact with her, she'll get mad about it, and because it's the truth. And the truth is consistent, and a lot of people don't like to hear that. Especially, they want to, especially in today's society, they like people to make excuses for them, or use escapism, or call you crazy and stuff like that. So it's like I've already accepted my mother is who she is, and she's getting older. And, we kind of think differently. Like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I have an LLC myself.
When you say that you attempted to go and forgive her, what do you mean by I attempted to do it?
Well, I'm not going to say it. I made an attempt as in, I know you say don't apologize or don't expect them to, apologize back to you. That's not the point of it. But the point of it is for you to actually acknowledge the fact that, I'm sorry for hating you, Mom, and I understand where you're coming from and where you got it from. And I told her that, and she couldn't digest that, which I understood and I already anticipated. But it's just like I still wanted her to understand, like, I'm not saying it to be out of spite. I'm saying it because that's really what I mean.
So you went to your mother and you said, I'm sorry for resenting you?
No, I told her I'm sorry for hating you.
Right. And what did she say when you told her that?
She said, why are you telling me this? Where is this coming from? But my mother always knew that, like, I've always struggled with my anger and stuff like that I do get from my mother. Yeah. Because I was around her more than my father. My father was in my life, but he stepped out for a few.
Any male that has anger is a female. So you went to her and said, I'm sorry for hating you. And she asked where you're getting that from. And what'd you say then?
I said, from you, this learned behavior that your mother passed down to you.
Nice.
Because my mother was forced to.
And why do you need her to understand it? And whether she understands it or not, it shouldn't bother you either way, because your mother may love her hell. And so I don't understand, if you did it, why are you saying you attempted to do it?
I feel like it was an attempt just because I still struggle with, like, my own thoughts, getting trapped in my own thoughts and not being still all the way. I do practice the silent prayer, but I'm not habitual at it. But I do get what you're saying. Like, I shouldn't even say attempt, because I did make the gesture to actually, take the first step in the right direction by acknowledging that I need to overcome my mother to, learn myself.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Not every morning, every night. I work overnight. Like, I just work 16-hour shift. I just took a shower, and I was calling you, waiting to get off, waiting to get on the line with you while I was in the shower.
So, and are you, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Are you living with your mother?
No, I moved out 2 weeks after my graduation.
Beautiful. And so now that you have forgiven her, apologized for resenting her, hating her, being angry, you can now just give her the finger and go and live your life.
That's true. You're right about that. And I have. My mother, actually, we haven't spoken about over a month, honestly. I'm not even going to lie to you. Or my father, because, like I said, he has a lot of beta ways. And I've introduced him to your show, but what he likes to do is, if I introduce him to new information, he wants to, like, try to, embody the information, but he's not learning it. He's just reciting what he hears.
Well, that's why you just, and don't impose, you offer them the information, give it to them. If they want it, fine. If they don't, fine. And if they reject it, you just still move on, because most people, you are unique. And they're and it seems to be in all families. There's like one or two of the kids who are in the family,
Right.
but they're like set apart. They're not
For sure.
of the family. And so
For sure.
you can't don't impose it on them. Just go on and live your life and become
Suffer and die.
you will
That's
become
it.
a living example of it. So just live your life and let them go. If you talk to
Right.
them, hey, how y'all doing? But no big deal,
For
right?
sure. For sure. And I did have one more question.
Yes.
What would you suggest? Because I do hear you always say that, no man can reconnect with the Father, as in God, once they get right with their parents, and then, or just forgive their parents and then move on with their life. But aside from that, when it comes to relationships, my question is, because my mother was very, how should I say? She was definitely promiscuous, but openly promiscuous. So I inherited some of those traits as when it comes to some coming to the flesh. And I do want to, because I had a child out of wedlock and stuff like that a year after graduating high school. But aside from that, in my current relationships, I just want to practice, like, really getting to a point of when I'm ready for marriage. Like, I do want to do it the right way, not have premarital sex and, build a bond. And I've had my own thing going on. My woman has her own thing going on. We build it up that way, the right way. But a lot of women, when I say that, they'll laugh, or they don't, like, they're going to try to, trick you into just falling for it. Like, oh, what are you, gay? Or what do you have a problem with you? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what you do. Now that you have gone and forgiven your parents, do the silent prayer morning and night, because now you have the light of God inside of you. And the light will destroy the nature of the devil, the abnormal nature that you were living when you were angry. And that nature
For sure.
included sex and judgment and ideas
sure.
and all kind of crap. And so what's going to happen is the light will destroy the nature of the devil. And what that means is that all your ideas about yourself and God, all of those, the sexual desires and all that will be taken away from you. Then, if you should get married, if when you're dating, you're going to have control of that. The woman will not be able to seduce you because she would no longer be your God. And God
Right.
would take away her identity and give you his identity. And in that, you will be under control. But you got to, I recommend that you do the silent prayer, stay present, practice being present, so
For
that
sure.
when Satan tempts you with the idea of having sex or whatever, you'll be able
Right.
to see it and resist it by letting those thoughts go.
For sure. I really appreciate this phone call, Jesse, and I do plan on coming to the show. I've been to Cali one time. I'm definitely trying to come back out there. My birthday in January, and I'm
All
definitely
right.
trying to be a frequent caller, and I do want to join Bond.
Okay, well, do the silent prayer and just watch, right? And
For
when
sure.
you're dealing with anybody, women or men or anyone, just watch if you're feeling nervous on the inside or anxious or anything,
For sure.
and just know that that's not you, and you'll see it, and in seeing it, the light, which is allowing you to see it, will destroy it.
You're absolutely right, though, because I do practice that in certain, in smaller instances. I do try to practice that throughout my day-to-day movement.
Yes.
But, I still succumb to, have shortcomings sometimes when, say, something is just too disrespectful, or something is just, I let it get under my skin or something like that. And then that's when the rage and all the beta can come out of me. I'm not going to lie. So you're absolutely right. I do just need to be still, be silent, and a lot of things the Lord presents it to me. Like, soon as I just be cool, calm, cool, and collected, it's like, wow, okay, I see what you're saying, Jesse.
Yes.
I see what you're saying, God. You understand? Yeah, I
Stop
definitely see what you're saying.
overreacting. And one thing I want to tell you, too, before we run here, is that the real you, the real Omari, has never been insulted. You've never been embarrassed. You've never been.
That was my ego.
It's all ego.
Yes,
It's the fake you. It's a not you. So when
Yes, sir.
someone says something to you or does something and you feel a sensation from it, just know that's not you, and be glad that you see that and let it pass. Don't blame them for making you feel that way, because it's already in you, and they gave you an opportunity to see it so you can overcome it.
For sure. I really appreciate it, Jesse, man. This means a lot. Like, you really got me damn near in tears. Like, I've always watched the show, and I introduced a lot of the Fallen to your show, and I'm still a part of the Fallen, but like you said, at least I'm conscious and I'm not trying to make excuses for myself.
Absolutely. Amazing. Well, appreciate your call, man.
Have a good day, man. I'm definitely going to stay tuned into the rest of the show.
Right on.
Appreciate you.
You too. Amazing. See, folks, there are blacks and whites and everybody who are seeking the truth. I run into them all the time. It's amazing. It's just that they didn't know. No one ever said, you got to overcome your mama. Anger is evil. It's abnormal. It's not the way a human being should live. You are your world. Nobody else is your problem but you. Take control of your own world. And you're going to see human beings for what they are. They're going to blow your mind. You're going to wonder, how did I see it that other way? The wrong way. How did I see it the wrong way? You're going to see things about human beings that you're just not going to. You're not going to believe that you thought one thing at one time and you were afraid, or you thought you need to be this and that with them. You thought that, and when you see that they're nothing, they're just nothing. they're trash. And you thought you made trash important. Do you make the trash at your home or out there in the trash can, do you make that important to you? I hear you saying no. What the homeless people do. So why do you make human beings important to you? Why? All they do is bring you misery. False happiness, which is misery. Fake unhappiness, which is misery. And yet you make them your God. But wait until you get to know yourself and see what's going on. All that will automatically change. And you're going to be like, what the? And man, when you overcome your mama, the spirit of your mother, which is not her own, it's the spirit of evil, everything's going to change for you. And you're going to deal with women in a way that's going to blow your mind. You're going to deal with them the way you should. You will not be controlled by them. You will not be afraid of them. You will not think you got to have one. It's going to all change. And then the ladies in 50 years would appreciate it because now they can have a chance of coming out of their hell. Because the women are miserable today. Miserable. And no matter how they dress, naked, walking up and down the road, they still miserable. All of those yoga ball butts they're bought, it bring no peace. Let me go to Sean, a first-time call out of California. There's one line open, 888-775-3773. Sean.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was just calling to thank you for all the advice. Overcoming mama.
Amazing.
And, it took a few times of trying to go there for some reason. Every time I'd go there, most of the time she'd be home, but then when I was set on going to apologize, all of a sudden she had stuff to do, or she wasn't there, or she would avoid me because I think she knew.
Did you tell her I want to talk to you about, I want to apologize to you?
No, but I would go stop by my parents' house and watch her videos, and she would just roll her eyes and make sounds. And my dad would be like, "Yeah, right on." But I told him I was going to apologize to her, and he probably told her.
Oh, yeah, because you're not supposed to tell them in advance.
Yeah, no.
Because they will run and avoid you because they don't want to lose that control they have on you. Right. And so they will not make themselves available for the most part.
Yeah. But then I can't get them apart. You know, they're always together. So I just showed up and talked to them, and the devil was busy trying to make me emotional before I did it, or while I was trying to do it.
Right.
So I had to stop and composed myself, and then I got through it, talked to them both at the same time. And they just thought, well, yeah, if it makes you feel better. But it wasn't about me feeling better, and I didn't try to explain it.
That's right. Right on.
I just left it at that. And a few years ago, I got divorced, and I was drinking pretty heavily. Not really daily, but once in a while, like once a week, or I might have a couple beers, whatever. But it got to the point where I would drink a 12-pack and didn't even know. Didn't realize I was just not paying attention. And then ever since I did it, I haven't had one drink. Well, I've had a couple, but it's been 2 weeks. I don't even have a desire.
And so did you start drinking as a result of the divorce?
Yeah, I think I was just didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, you have kids with this woman?
No.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Right on.
And I was going to tell you too. Like, I kept trying to do the silent prayer. I've been listening to you for like 8 years, and it took me this long to. Yeah. But then I couldn't do the silent prayer. I just could not do it. I would try, but ever since I forgave him a few weeks ago, I've been doing it morning and night without even effort, not even trying to do it or being, I'm mindful of knowing that I need to do it, but I haven't stopped.
Nice. So, what was the problem? What was keeping you from doing it before you went and forgave?
Probably making excuses, and then I'm working 2 jobs right now. I bought a house a couple years ago, and there's stuff I want to do, so I just picked up an extra job, and I just been busy with that over the last year. And but before that, just excuses.
Oh, okay. And now you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, stay with it.
No excuse now.
That's right. Stay with it. Stay with it, and it's going to be amazing. Have you overcome that woman that you divorced?
That was kind of a question. I don't really think about her like, during that time, trying to get her back and trying to do all that stuff. But I just kind of gave up on it, and I don't really think about it too much.
Nice.
Or really at all.
Yeah. Now that you're doing
that was my question. Should I talk to her and forgive her or no? I don't really have anything about it.
Right. If you don't have anything, then no, I would move on, stay away from the devil. And don't try to bring her back, because you're bringing evil back into your life.
Oh, yeah.
And if you bring her back, she will completely destroy you, because you already know that she's evil. Why would you bring evil back? You want to overcome evil and to never bring it back into your life again.
Yeah.
But now, if you don't resent her, she has her issue. Her mama, she need to overcome as you did. So I would just move on, work on my life, wish her well, but go on with your life. Don't keep tempting the devil.
Yeah. Cool.
All right?
All right.
Stay with it, man. Let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Bye now. 888-775-3773. Man, the hour gone. What the? I got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news. And his shirt just says, July just feels white. It's an amazing shirt. He's going to tell you how to get it. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry, because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit, and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger, because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Israel hit a Gaza refugee camp, reportedly killing a Hamas commander, although Hamas disputes it. And a whole lot of propaganda and killing on many sides. Men's Forum is tomorrow night, the first Thursday of the month, November 2nd, 2023 AD. Make sure you join us, guys, for men only. Women's Forums are third Thursday of the month for ladies only. Rebuildingtheman.com/events. And JLP mentioned this July Just Feels White tea. Celebrate White History Month with J.C. Lee Peterson. Not available currently because it's on limited runs, limited release. Look for the White History Month t-shirts next June. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores is how you can find links to all the different t-shirts from JLP, The Fallen State, and Bond, and other things, mugs, stickers. It's cool. This is the end of hour one of the J.C. Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 AD. JLP will be right back to your calls. But first, Hake News, not fake news. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, report Israel's military confirmed they hit a Jabalia, I was going to say Jambalaya, refugee camp in Gaza, left catastrophic damage, massive craters among densely populated buildings, according to CNN, targeting a key Hamas commander. Hamas denies it. Israel said the strike killed that commander. Hamas denies, describing him as one of the leaders of the October 7th attack. Israel also reportedly said Hamas has been using the area as a command center, adding that dozens of militants were killed. But officials in Gaza said that the attack in Jabalia, the territory's largest so-called refugee camp, killed more than 50 Palestinian civilians, mostly women and children, and injured hundreds more. Israel accused Hamas of hiding behind civilians and reiterated calls for Palestinians to evacuate south even as Israeli airstrikes continue there. Last night, Gaza's telecommunications officials said that their internet and communications have been cut off again, severely disrupted throughout this war. The UN stated more than 3,500 children, quote unquote, have been killed. The far-left extremist evil UN, that is. I think half the population of the Palestinians, they're under 18, is what I heard, which means there could be plenty of underage terrorists. Just saying, if you want to call them terrorists, I don't know. But I don't know. Who knows? The Gaza Health Ministry said the overall death toll, I guess, overall, is 8,500. Far-left British do-gooder NGO, non-government organization called Save the Children, founded by two English women over 100 years ago, called it the deadliest conflict of any year for children since 2019. There's growing concern about the spread of infectious diseases due to the crowded, unclean conditions and a lack of clean water over in Gaza, I guess. Doctors reportedly doing surgeries in corridors with limited supplies and electricity amid Israeli airstrikes. Meanwhile, aid's slow to trickle in through the Rafah crossing. The Biden administration trying, supposedly, to get 100 trucks of aid each day this week in there. This morning, a deal brokered with Egypt agreed to allow dozens of foreign passport holders through the Rafah crossing, I guess, into Egypt. Poor Egypt. And a small group of injured Palestinians allowed in for treatment. Hopefully they're not terrorists in Egypt. Israel focused on targeting Hamas, allegedly embedded commander centers in civilian areas. Now Palestinian death toll mounting. The international community is increasingly pressuring Israel to limit response on the October 7th attack. Yesterday, the evil Senate confirmed far-left Obama holdover Jack Lew, not a Christian, L-E-W, to be the next U.S. ambassador to Israel in a 53-43 vote. Along party lines, largely, Republicans concerned Lew's role in the Obama failed Iran nuclear deal, supposedly too lenient on Iran, I don't know. Trump seemingly rightly abandoned that deal, but Biden and Obama Part 3 rejoined the Iran nuclear deal, I think, right? Or was that the Paris Climate Accords? A third-year student, I guess, Patrick Dye, D-A-I, Asian-looking New Yorker at Cornell University, was arrested over supposedly anti-Semitic threats to Jewish students at the school. He's going to slit their throats. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. In the rapper world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. Manhood hour is coming up in the third hour. Every Wednesday, third hour is Manhood hour. So you can get involved. There is a line open, two lines right now if you want to jump in there, at 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week: are you a pitiful person? Are you a pitiful person? Wow. Are you a pitiful person? Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show if you're busy about working out, whatever. You can be listening on your anywhere in the world. You're laying out at the beach. You're running away trying to get over to Egypt from Palestine. You're Jewish and you're running from the Palestinians because they're trying to kill you. Or whatever. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad. Or if you're coming across our borders and all of you have Obama phones. Obama phone, they give them to everybody, right? So you can sign up in advance that you're coming to America. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Christ is King. And just JLP Talk on X. JLP Talk on X. Like, follow, ring the bell, do all that. To have your donate and have your comments read out loud, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com/store. No, just rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. And thank you in advance. I want to show you, I've said over and over again, and I'm repeating myself, that my country is never coming back. My country is no longer tears of thee. My country, and you can say it as long as you want, it's up to you. How great the country is, it's the greatest country in the world, is this and that. That ain't true no more. And the ones that are running my country make sure that it ain't true no more. And they want to make sure it never come back. Why do you think they have the borders wide open? And people coming from around the world, and they know that we have terror threats in our country, according to reports, and they still won't close the border. Why do you think they're sending all our money to Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, and Lord nowhere else, Iran, And they're not spending a dime on America. Not one penny. And why do you think that the oil prices are through the roof? And they know that we can drill, baby, drill right here in our country, and that would solve that problem just like that. They won't do it. And they'll put in all the wrong people in the right places, in the positions in my country to make sure that it never returns. Why do you think they got rid of bail bond? Why you just got rid of the police in my country? Why do you think they're giving the blacks permission to go rob, steal, and kill and do nothing about it, and the blacks know that they're just going to walk into court and right out if they show up to court? Why do you think that, and you still think the country coming back? When will you not be deceived? It's like the Christians waited for Jesus to return, and they think one day Jesus is going to return, they're going to be taken up. And Jesus has already returned. And Jesus is like, what the? I already done that. What y'all talking about? What are you waiting for? Same thing with the country. You're not doing anything to get these people out of office, run for office, or run for somebody that you know, vote for someone that you know will do the job. We can no longer have nice things in America. Have you gone into a CVS lately? There's a local CVS down the street from me, my office right here, and I used to go there a lot. You know, not a lot, but whenever I wanted what I needed from a CVS. It was so nice. They had white people working there. The store was packed with whatever you needed. The people were friendly. Now all the white people gone because they scared. They were just so scared. And they were replaced with people of color. And the store itself looked like a ghetto when you walk in there. The shelves are empty. The people don't care, the workers. And it has a bunch of blacks and Mexicans up in there. And it is total hood. It is not uncommon to walk in there and see black people with these backpack things on their back. They're walking in the store stealing. They're not even stealing because they're openly getting it, taking it. And the workers just looking. And it's so common now, as a customer, you can walk in and you can see them doing it. You're like, hey, y'all got everything you need. Okay, bye. The Daily Mail is reporting that a CVS pharmacy in Washington, D.C. has been forced to replace almost all the stock with photographs in an attempt to combat rampant shoplifting. Frame images of toilet paper and kitchen towels have replaced actual images, actual items on the shelf. They have images of it now. Look at this photo from the Daily Mail. Look at that. They have pictures of the item that you want. Y'all having a toothpaste? Oh, yeah, look at that picture. What kind do you want? Pick it out on the picture, and we're going to back and get it. They have photographs of the merchandise now. This is why they got rid of the police. They got rid of the bail bond. They wanted the blacks to go in and rip out the stores. And the blacks are too happy to do it because they call it black excellence. It's slavery. It's because of Jim Crow. It's because the blacks are just too dumb to take care of themselves. So let them steal your merchandise. They have pictures of the merchandise. And ladies, y'all can no longer try on the makeup stuff y'all want on your eyes and all that. You got to look at the picture and hope that it's the right thing. My country is gone. It's all but a funeral. It looks still alive, but it's barely breathing. And the blacks, you should be ashamed of yourself that just because they took away the police, they took away the bail bond, you are okay with yourself that you're going to go out and just take other people's stuff and give yourself a fist bump about it. And some people think that black people are the first on the earth and that they created everything. This is what they created for sure. All that is wrong. It's horrible. And it's interesting, too, to see the blacks don't care. They just don't care. That's how they treat themselves, and that's how they treat others. Not all, but most. My country's gone. CVS is no longer CVS. It used to be fun to go to buy some ice cream. No police. You see why blacks don't want police, right? Defund the police, and you did it. I said, no, don't do it. The blacks going to only create destruction. Look at Africa or anywhere where they're taking over. Nothing but destruction. And the blacks are allowed to just get away with everything that's wrong because the world knows they're not going to do right. So they're not even thinking of them in that way. They just know they're going to do wrong, so they made it possible for them to do wrong and not be punished. What do you think going to happen to the earth? We allow evil to just run rampant like that without any form of control. And the blacks are allowed to get away with anything that's bad. Nothing good because they ain't doing no good. New York Post has reported a Texas teenager admit to randomly punching unsuspecting victims in public for social media attention. Watch this from KHOU. Amazing.
Learning more about one of those social media pranks that is hardly funny.
Do you regret it?
Yes, I do.
19-year-old Alfred Lewis spoke with me about how he feels about it now.
You know, I just made a mistake, and everybody makes mistakes.
This is the video in question, first shared with KHOU 11 via the Nextdoor app. In it, you can clearly see Lewis striking a man in the head from behind before he turns around in shock.
I know, like, from the video, all you see is, like, the bad part about it, but what people didn't see was that I shook his hand after and how I had gave the man a hug. I really didn't expect for it to just go so left, you know?
I told Lewis that law enforcement is investigating the incident, something his mother and father were also aware of.
And your mom's probably disappointed.
Yeah, she is. Before you go out and you do anything that you feel is bad or that could look bad, make sure like people know or just don't do it at all.
Amazing, huh? Well, the backstory on this story about this black boy doing that to that man, who seemed to be white, maybe Mexican, I don't know, is that he was like, oh, I gave him a hug. After I knocked the hell out of him, I gave him a hug. Isn't that mama like? Mama beat you up and then she hugged you. Come here, babe. But the backstory, I saw this on one of the local channels here, and that boy and the boy that was recording this boy going up knocking out or hitting the guy upside back of the head, well, they've been arrested because before, according to the story, before they knocked the boy out and started filming and hit the guy, they robbed him. They robbed him. And then they started filming knocking him out. And so they have been arrested, according to the story. So it wasn't just a hug. He's not being honest there, according to the story. But just the mere fact that a human being can do that to another human being. I wonder if his mama had the talk with them before he went out and did that. Remember how the black mamas are having the talk and the so-called black daddies with their kids? Beware the police. You black. You may get killed. You better do this and do that. Lord, I'm so scared. I'm just so scared when I send my babies out. I don't know if my babies will be back. Did his mama have the talk with him? Blacks can do this. They have been given the permission to do this. This is why they're on earth, to bring pure and total destruction upon the earth. They're not here for the good. And not all, but most are overcoming it. Some are overcoming it, but most are not. Amazing, huh? This is what the parents are raising now. When you see the children, you see the parents. And you think that's bad? More proof that my country is not coming back. This is from the LA Times. In a bizarre crash turned robbery, 4 men in ski masks robbed a luxury car after they... Oh, by the way, did you see on that boy's shirt? It says, trapped in time. That black boy, the teenager there. He is trapped in time, that's for sure. Until you overcome time, all human beings are trapped in time, and that's what hell is. Welcome to hell. Hell is in time. Heaven is outside of time. In heaven, there's no time. It's just now. It just is. But anyway, I diverged. From the LA Times, in a bizarre crash turned robbery, 4 men in ski mask robbed a luxury car after they intentionally rammed into the car on the 10 freeway in Los Angeles. Not the 10. Watch this from Fox.
Caught on video what appears to be a brazen robbery on the 10 freeway in Jefferson Park. A group of people in masks and hoodies jumped out of a van and appeared to rob a driver who was involved in an accident.
The video picks up on the 10 East near Crenshaw. It shows the camera's vehicle pulling up to the scene. At least 4 people wearing masks, dark clothing and hoodies exit a van. They run toward a wrecked and smoking car on the right shoulder of the freeway. The driver of the wrecked car is seen kneeling with both hands in the air. It appears to us that they are ransacking the victim's car, a brazen daytime robbery.
Wow, who's taking the picture with a cell phone? What a mess, huh? The 10 freeway, one of the business freeways in LA, but it goes through the hood. And if you notice the reporter using the word bizarre, as though this is something new. This never happens. It ain't bizarre and it ain't new. They're calling that as if it never happens. My country's gone. While they're sending all our money to foreign countries and pretend to be helping them in their wars, look at the war at home. They're doing nothing about it. And you know what? There are threats of terrorist attacks in our country. What do you think going to happen? I would advise you to get ready. There's a storm coming. It's time to go home. And home is within you. You should do what you want, but I would urge you to start living from the kingdom of heaven within, because it's going to be hell on earth. And if you're of the earth, in it and of it, you ain't going to make it. You're going to be so scared. And they have this so-called book that where these people are thinking that they are blameless. They're thinking they're blameless. Here's a photo of the book.
Black people invented everything.
So somebody wrote a book, a so-called Dr.
Sujan Kumar Das.
That ain't even no real name. That ain't no American name for sure.
Founder of the Solutionary Institute.
And he says black people invented everything. Everything that's wrong. They invented the violence. They invented hating your fellow man. They invented hoods. They invented making black women horrible people. They right. Everything that's wrong, they invented it. They sure didn't invent anything that's good. And if you doubt me, look at their neighborhoods. Look at their families. Look at the way they treat their fellow man. Look at the way they treat themselves. Look at the way their mothers and grandmothers treat them. They invented everything that's wrong. And they are to blame for that. According to Amazon.com, this book digs deeper than the whitewashed history we learned in school, and explore how our African ancestors established the foundation of modern society. Lord have mercy. And so they're calling total destruction, evil, hate, no love. They're calling that their modern society. They don't even know what modern is. They are the foundation, they established the foundation of hating your fellow man, of having buku babies out of wedlock, abortion up the yang-yang, blaming white people, wanting affirmative action, reparation, everything free. Look at South Africa. I can use that as a perfect example because America is South Africa now. The white people gave them everything over there. Y'all can have Boswado town. We built it up. It's all nice. I understand y'all complaining. You can't do it. You can't build yourself. So we'll give you what we have done, and we're going to leave. And what did they do? They turned their foundation to a modern society. Pure hell. Robbing and destroying and riots and just everything. And now they're going out to the farmlands, chasing the whites out there. This happened in America. But their ancestors established the foundation of modern society. Y'all got modern society turned upside down. And there are people who actually believe it. They believe this. Watch this from Instagram.
We are the most intelligent race on the face of the planet. We invented almost everything that made this society and every society on the face of the planet human. And when I mean human, I mean as in toilets, sanitary, everything comes from Africa. The chair, the traffic light, the car, the computer. What is it we haven't created?
All lies. See what the imagination can do to you? You can be totally wrong and imagination makes you think you're right because somebody said it. That's a dumb female. She has no clue what she's talking about. If y'all created everything, how come everything is so messed up around you? And why haven't you created something new? And if you create, black folks, come on now. If you create everything, how come you destroy, why you need the white man stuff? Why are you trying to take his stuff away from him? If you created everything. The ego love lies. We definitely need to get that woman on the show. That's the dumbest thing I ever seen. And she had a fro. Her hair too tight. That's all lies, but she believed lies. Black people can't even keep a neighborhood going. It goes out of control with black on black violence, and they won't paint the house, and they won't cut the grass, and they won't do anything. But they invented everything. Oh! Black people, that's a lie. Y'all ain't invent nothing. But anyway, there's one thing they did not invent, and they're quite sure about this one. They invented everything except the word. They didn't invent the Bible. They say that was for white people. This is a form of video called, this is from a video called "The Bible Wasn't Written for Black People." Watch this from Virgos. Virgos knows everything.
When you say that we were gods, what do you mean by that?
In the Old Testament, ain't them people constantly wicked and unrighteous, never keep the laws of God? So why are you looking for a black presence among them? The black presence in the Old Testament is God himself. Right. So when you start thinking about that, everything shifts now. You get what I'm saying? The ancient of days was the ones that was bronze and looked like his body was made of carnelian, and what's that other brown stone? There was another stone, the jasper. You know? That's what the ancient of days looked like when he appeared. And he appeared with a green light glowing about him. That was one of us. Yeah. So then you go to the history. Like, who was the first people of these places? It's always black people. Even when the Greeks was talking, who was the righteous people? The Ethiopians. Jesus was a great man. He came to do what he came to do. He came to teach. If you think about it, he came to teach the Gentiles. The white world was wicked. He came to teach them to turn the other cheek. You think black folks need to learn to turn the other cheek?
No, not even in today. We turn the other cheek.
He was trying to get the white.
Oh yeah, y'all turn the other cheek and kill somebody. What the? The one thing that most blacks, not all, don't do is turn the other cheek. They're mad about nothing. White people ain't even did anything to them, and they mad. And the whites haven't done anything. If you're black, the white people ain't even did anything. But if you're black, the whites haven't done anything. If you're white. And that boy that up that line, he look like Ethiopian or something. So the Bible wasn't written for white people, for black people, that's for sure. No, they sure ain't following it. And I want to, my country ain't coming back. Diversity pushed on white people only. And the white people allowing it to happen. How will my country come back? Imagine if white people start saying this. Watch this for BBC. Stories on X. And they said we need to see healthy and meaningful relationships between black people. Watch it for BBC.
I was looking for a black person. I guess in order for the media to be progressive, they have like progressive families. So it's like a black dad and a white mom and mixed race children, blah, blah, blah. But in the same way, it's important to see those like strong and united like black family units as well. If a black woman's like, I only want to date a black man, it's because she doesn't want to have to deal with the fetishization that comes from dating white people or the racism that comes from dating white people. Do you know what I mean? There are legitimate reasons why you do not want to enter a relationship like that.
Anytime I kind of ventured out, so to speak, the same way that you go to work and you're not entirely comfortable, because predominantly the places that we're going to be working in this country are going to be majority white, the vast majority white. The one place that I can kind of free myself completely is my relationship when I'm with Shante.
There's something really strange about trying to like sensationalize or commodify an interracial relationship. And it makes me really uncomfortable.
Could white people be sitting there saying that? Ship those folks back home. Back in a moment. Thanks to God. It is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Now, do you believe me? Those two people sitting there talking about relationships, how they don't want no white man or white woman. Could white people sit and have the same conversation? Yes, they could, but they won't because they're afraid. And those people sound like foreigners. So that means that blacks are messed up all around the world. They got the same messed up mindset. And they think they invented everything. Lord, y'all, black people, y'all ain't invent nothing. If you did, you would be in Africa, living in Africa with your little inventions. You wouldn't be begging for reparations and affirmative action and telling white people, y'all need to stop doing the SAT thing and we don't want to have to take a test to graduate from high school to prove we know math and English and writing. But you invented everything? You don't even know math. How you invented everything? Don't you at least have to know math? They're up there complaining about interracial relationships. Nobody tell y'all to get with anybody but whoever you want. They believe a lie about racism, which never existed, never will exist, it cannot exist, impossible to exist, will not exist except in your dumb mind. And all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Oh, so let me just say this. Then I get to your calls. Brand new episode of The Fallen State on this Friday. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. A very interesting discussion with Lauren Neal. Lauren Neal. She is an advocate for gender equality and career progression within STEM industries. And is now the author of the #1 best-selling book, Value at Work. Valued at Work. Shining a light on bias to engage, enable, and retain women in STEM. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Let's say guys were talking in the office and that slut was amazing. Would you get mad?
I've never encountered that in the office.
That's a normal talk when women not around.
The language that you've just used didn't make me feel very comfortable.
That's another reason that women should not be allowed to work with men except in the front office or something.
I mean, of course, I've got a different perspective.
But should the woman obey her husband?
Obey? Does that mean I'm your slave?
Yes. Is it ever okay to call a woman fat?
No, it's not.
She was nice. She was nice. TheFallenState.tv. And remember, you can support The Fallen State at right there, FallenState.tv and locals.com this Friday at 12 noon. Did you catch the Anchor Baby yesterday? Podcast it. He went on and on and on and on, talking about celebrating Halloween. He was a pilot all the way. The American Anchor Baby yesterday podcasted. It was Hassan. Oh, it was amazing. Did you dress up what's your dog name?
Mr. Sandman.
Did you dress him up for Halloween?
He's been in costume all week.
All week?
All week he's been in wardrobe.
Wow, that's just like celebrating Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas at the same time.
Exactly. Well, the good news is he was a pumpkin, so he could actually stay in it all November as well.
Wow.
So
your dog is a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Did you take him trick-or-treating?
We went on a walk in the evening and just randomly, I saw other people in the neighborhood walking their dog, and they were all in costume and going door to door getting doggy treats. So it is a real thing. And I was like, look at these silly people trick-or-treating with their dog. And then I walked back upstairs with Sandy, and then he was looking at me, and I was like, you want to go?
You said that to the dog?
Well, it looked like he resented me for not taking them and judging them.
It looked like he resented you.
I didn't want him to harbor any resentment for me.
So it looked like the dog resented you because you didn't take him trick-or-treating and you judged the other people with their dog.
It's true, yeah. But the good news is we didn't go. We stayed in and watched Nightmare Before Christmas.
What a nightmare.
What a nightmare.
Do you have a picture of Sandy in the pumpkin suit?
Oh, yeah, we do have it. We have to pull it up. I don't know.
Okay. When you get it, let me know.
It is a classic.
You can say that again. Oh, God. By the way, some of you know we're building a JLP radio network here, 24-hour talk, all men. And a lot of you have sent in, fill out a page saying why you would like to be a part of the talk show, the network. I do appreciate it. Producer at JesseLeePeterson.com. Well, it's going well, one person at a time. And the JLP radio network is on YouTube and Instagram. And the channel is officially active. And what I want to do, I want to show you, here is a preview that will be up on the YouTube channel today at 11 a.m. Pacific time. How come sometimes it's 12, it's 9, and now it's 11? What is the official time? Oh, so it's not at 12? Oh, okay. So this one is about, this clip I'm about to show you is of one of the hosts on the network. It's right after everyone's show, they're telling me. The Hake report on the Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Network. Watch this.
Check this out. Alexander DataPsych posted this on X. 45% of men have never approached a woman in person. It's been less than a year for Hake. I will have you know. I went to the mall for it one time. I went to the gym for it one time. Just say hi. Saw you walking by just the other day. I said, hey, 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 hey.
What a mess. So that's going to be going up on the channel today at 11 a.m. right after the HakeReport.com. And the Hake Report is on Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. One stone at a time. Amazing. All right. Super chat. Are we ready to do this?
Yeah. Of course.
Super.
Over on Buy Me a Coffee, Mac O'Leary bought you 3 coffees. Thanks, Jesse. I was listening to an old show last night, and my girlfriend lost it when she heard you say not to try to make a relationship work. The hell came flying out of her. She wouldn't leave for work this morning, so I put your show on speaker to get her out of the house.
Nice. The one thing I want both men and women to know, and this is without a doubt, I know the world have taught you that you're supposed to make relationships work. You got to put something into it if you want to get something out of it. You don't know one person who put anything into a relationship and got something from it. You don't know one. The only thing they got from it is misery. They've never gotten peace. If it's not happening naturally without work, it's not meant to be. Life is supposed to happen naturally. If you notice, you can't make life work. Look how hard you try to make life work for you. It ain't working. Relationships are not supposed to be worked on. It doesn't even make sense now. I used to think that dumb way too. You're not supposed to do it. Whomever tell you that, they're lying to you, and they're saying, I'm not going to put my best in this. You got to make me do it. Try to pull it out of me. Relationships are not supposed to be made. They're supposed to happen. Just FYI. Thank you.
Nangiti Aviankoi bought a couple of coffees on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. A coffee for you, Jesse, for wearing that beautiful shirt yesterday. Heart eyes emoji. Bang. Flash explosion emoji.
Nice. Thank you. It was an amazing shirt. It was my country western Tuesday with the different color. It looked like the mountain hussar out of Arizona, out of
Wyoming.
The South Pole or wherever that song was made.
Oh, Alaska. Yeah.
It looked like the beautiful mountains and things of Alaska.
Yeah, it had a white. It was kind of like almost anyway, nice, cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very nice. Thank you.
With another coffee from Nangiti Aviankoi. Also, amazing interview with the writer of Tucker. Looking forward to reading that book. It always reminds me of The Antidote. It's amazing having people on Earth freeing us of our minds and emotions and reminding us of our true spirit. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Red heart emoji.
Thank you. Yeah, read Tucker. It's amazing. I like books that writes about people who really stood apart in the world. They stood apart and they stood alone. And there was something a little different about them. And they went through it, they dealt with it. And then they were successful. They were able to influence and help others in spite of the world going against them. And that's one thing I respect so much about Tucker. So read Tucker is amazing. And I remember when I first read Gandhi. His life story was the same way, even though now they try to make Gandhi a racist. Poor Gandhi.
Based.
And other books I read like that. It's just I like those kind of books. And Sean been telling me about these different men and these different stories, and it's so interesting to me. I don't like all that other mess. But thank you. Read Tucker. And also you can check out my book, The Antidote. Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. An amazing book. And all my books are amazing. Somebody has that name now. All my books are amazing. And I will sign it for you. People want to know, will you sign it? Yes, I will. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Okay, thank you.
Being Enlightened Till I Rise monthly Rumble supporter points to Ohio Sentinel's Rumble rant saying, why do blats talk blat and want to be taken seriously? Know what I'm saying?
And yet they create everything in the world. What the? How you going to create anything and your language ain't good? Your English is bad. What the? And they don't even know math. Black people hate math. I used to say, I don't like math. Math is hard for me. It ain't the black man thing. What a dummy. Thank you.
Mystery AF, Mystery America First, a Rumble rant. People on Earth, there is no superior bloodline. It's all about your spirit. Let it be known.
I rest my case. Absolutely. It ain't in the blood, it's in the spirit. Absolutely. Thank you.
Our resident D Live naysayer, Stan69, donated a couple of diamonds. Hassan, a Bond guy. He sure is beta with that dog. SMH emoji, hey, face palm. How can JLP, this is another diamond, allow such a beta within his ranks? Facepalm emoji.
Ain't nothing real hot. They walking on water. See the picture of the dog?
Cute. Oh, yeah, there's the pumpkin.
This dog like, what the world is this on me? Take me out of here, please. God already put my coat on me. Poor Sandman. Her son enjoying it and he's suffering. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Are talking about the Blat's practical thoughts, JLP? Asks Federial. If so, how? This is a Rumble rant.
Because I'm trying to encourage them to become an individual again. Get out of the group thinking, the Black thinking, the group thinking, become an individual and return to the Father and take control of their own lives. It would be amazing for them. So that's the practical part. Trying to wake them up. And some are waking up. Believe me, I hear from them all the time at the gym and everywhere. They're like, thank you, Jesse. I didn't realize I resented my mother. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know about my mama. And I now see white people were never holding me back. It was in my mind. I had been lied to. So there are Black men and women waking up. It's around the world, too. It's amazing. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all. I do appreciate it. Amazing. Thank you all for your support. A quick reminder, if you're getting help, you're supposed to give back without me having to ask. All right? And even if you're not getting help, you're still supposed to give so we can help others. Let me go quickly to Victoria out of California. Victoria. Victor, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Grandpa Jesse.
Hey, Victor.
You went from Uncle Jesse to Grandpa Jesse.
Amazing.
And that was after I learned and truly learned that all thoughts are all lies all the time.
Yeah, they really, really are. There's no such thing as a true thought. And that's why God wants us to live a no-thinking life, a thoughtless life. If you want to be free, you got to stop thinking.
Yeah, and it made the silent prayer 10 times easier if people struggle with that. You know, it made everything easier.
Are you doing it every morning, every night?
No.
And why not?
I believe all thoughts are all lies all the time. So I just wake up and I just kind of open my eyes and like, okay, I don't quite need it as much as I did. I still do it, but it's not as mandatory because my thinking is cleared up.
And why is it not mandatory?
I've been listening to you for years. Right. I've practiced what you've said over the years.
And so now you're at a point where you don't need it anymore?
No, I still need it. It's kind of like a pocket knife. You know, you don't need it every day, but when you do need it, you use it.
Really? And so when God said to pray without ceasing, meaning to always be aware, don't forget to be aware, he was just playing?
Well, it's not that I'm out of prayer. It's a different kind of prayer. If you walk with Christ, then you're walking in prayer, right? The silent prayer has helped me take a deep breath in the morning, take a deep breath in the middle of the day, take a deep breath in the afternoon, right? But if you're actually walking with Christ, it's a constant thing.
And how are you doing that exactly, walking with Christ?
I walk with Christ by showing people the Holy Spirit that's in myself and in others.
You walk with Christ by showing people the Holy Spirit in yourself and in others. And how are you doing that?
By saying hi to random strangers.
What the?
Yeah, just
amazing.
Being nice to people.
Nice. Vincent, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Russ, I'm looking at the clock, Vincent. Thank you. Russ out of Hampton, Virginia. Russ, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Russ.
You know, I've been listening to you for a very, very long time.
Thank you.
But I just wanted to ask you, I've noticed that you always seem to put the burden on women. Why is that?
What do you mean putting the burden on women?
Okay, for example, if there's a couple and they break up and they divorce, you blame the wife. If there's a situation where there's a family and there's something going on with the kids and the parents, you blame the wife. Why do you blame women so much?
What do you mean put the burden on women? You didn't answer that.
You always blame women for everything.
But you said that I always put the burden on the woman. What do you mean by what's the burden?
You blame the wife for everything. That's what I
hear you saying that now, but you didn't tell me what is the burden that I'm putting on women.
The burden is the blame.
What do you mean by that?
Jesse?
What do you mean by that? A blame is not a burden. What the?
That's what I meant when I used it. You always put the blame on the wife.
In what way?
For example. For example.
Give me an example.
Okay. I'm from a single parent family. My mother and my father were married. My mother and my father broke up. Now, you have told me personally, that the reason why my mother and my father broke up was because my father could not deal with my mother. You don't know me. You don't know them. You don't know that's true. That's just what you say.
Do you know it's not true?
Yeah, I do know it's not true.
And how do you know it's not true?
Because I've been told about the issues between my mother and father.
And who told you that?
Do you know?
Who told you that?
Do you know?
Who told you that?
I was told by somebody that was involved.
Were you told by your father?
Does it matter?
Were you told by your father?
Does it matter?
Were you told by your father?
Does it matter?
Were you told by
my father doesn't talk to me because he's not man enough to talk to me and have a relationship with his sons. So no.
Were you told by your mother?
When I asked, yeah.
Were you told by your mother?
When I asked, yes.
So you were told by your mother?
When I asked for the last time, yes. Because I asked.
Ask! And what did she tell you? Why you haven't asked your father?
You can't ask somebody that doesn't reach out and have a relationship with you.
Have you tried to have one with him?
Well, now I can't. He's dead.
Have you tried? Did you try to have one with him?
Jesse, I was a little kid.
Did you try to have one with your father?
Can I finish? As a little kid, you're not able to do certain things. So when he moved across the country, I didn't have the resources to reach out to try to find him.
Did you try to have one with him?
Well, say again?
Did you try to have a relationship with your father?
I'm trying to tell you.
I got to run, Rush. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Peterson Show. There is one line open. You can call in during Hake News, Not Fake News, which is happening right now. And JLP will be right back for Manhood Hour. And even women can call in during Manhood Hour. Nice. So stay tuned for hour 3. JLP will be right back. Men's Forum tomorrow night. Remember, guys, it is a highlight of the month. Rebuildingtheman.com/events. 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. First Thursday of the month. That's November 2nd. Nice. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thehakereport.com. 2 hours every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. And then American Anchor Baby at noon Pacific time. Very cool. The Main Killer. New details emerging according to, I guess, CNN, Common Nonsense Network, about the U.S. Army reservist who authorities say killed 18 in Lewiston, Maine last week. Previous warnings about him from the Army and his family. The Army in July said the 40-year-old gun male, because he's not a man, he's dead now, should not have a weapon, handle ammunition, and not participate in live fire activity after he was seen behaving erratically and sent for an evaluation at an Army hospital, said an Army spokesman. Additionally, several attempts, although he was like a firearms instructor. Whoa. That's what I heard. Additionally, several attempts were made by officers to check in on him weeks before those so-called mass shootings that took place last week, raising questions over authorities' handling of the warnings and his access, communist buzzword, to firearms. Attention also drawn to Maine gun laws. Beautiful Maine. Do not prohibit a person from buying a gun based strictly on a so-called mental health diagnosis or treatment. What a mess. They're trying to disarm all of the PTSD suffering veterans, most of whom are not angry in the way that they would do a mass murder. So you shouldn't be disarming them all. Sickle cell treatment. What's getting closer to a new treatment? Ask the ladies at The Skim, the far-left extremist female run outlet The Skim. Sickle cell disease. An FDA panel yesterday recommended a gene editing therapy to treat the rare blood disorder that disproportionately affects black Americans, so-called Americans. Average life expectancy for the afflicted is 40 to 60 years if you have sickle cell. Wow. Exa-cell is that gene editing therapy, I guess. EXA-CEL, 1L, uses CRISPR technology to change specific parts of a patient's DNA. In this case, health experts say Exa-cell could free the 20,000 Americans with sickle cell disease of excruciating pain. The FDA wants to learn more about the treatment's potential long-term effects before deciding whether to approve Exa-cell, a decision expected in December. If approved, it's unclear how much Exa-cell would cost. It would be the first therapy to treat an illness using the CRISPR gene editing tech. CRISPR, all caps. Anyway, so-called healthcare. Take care of yourself because no one else will. Far-left Common Nonsense Network, CNN reports the cost of job-based healthcare coverage, really so-called health insurance, medical help insurance, will see a steep rise in 2024 due to stubbornly high Bidenflation, we call it. So say benefits consultants. Companies plan to shoulder most of the increase, but many workers, also so-called workers, employees, could feel the pinch in the form of higher premiums and out-of-pocket costs for quote-unquote care. Workers, so-called, will learn just how much more they'll pay during their employer's open enrollment period. Typically takes place at this time. So-called medical providers pushing insurers for larger cost increases to cover the higher costs they have endured over the last few years, say experts. Significant uptick in the use of specialty drugs, particularly those with diabetes and weight loss, which is driving up the average monthly cost per member of this class of drugs. There's flooding in Italy. A storm, heavy rain, and violent winds to northern Italy. Tuesday sent rapid floods through central Milan and caused Lake Como to breach its banks. So we wish you guys well, Italians. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question, and it's a doozy. Are you a pitiful person? Are you a pitiful person? Pitiful! We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, whatever you might be doing, anywhere in the world, we're heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And for the flat earthers, up and down the world, by everybody and their mama. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad if you can't sit and watch it live. You can be listening live, doing whatever you're doing. Isn't it interesting? I never feel the earth going up and down like that, like a swing. But it goes around like this, though. Oh, I'm going around it. What the? You can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And you can follow us on Instagram, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, and JLP Talk on X. Like, ring the bell, subscribe, and do all those things. So this is Thanksgiving background we have now already. I thought it was, when I first walked in early this morning, I thought it was still Halloween. But it's Thanksgiving. Amazing. So it is to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. So it is Wednesday, right? And the last hour of every Wednesday show is Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta male. A man is a male who turned to man. Alpha male. Live right, be right, and lead the way.
Are you?
Here in Virginia, the controversial Confederate statue of Robert E. Lee that was removed from downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, 2 years ago, has now been destroyed.
What is cultural appropriation? Cultural appropriation is when someone intentionally or unintentionally takes and exploits part of a culture they don't belong to.
Andrea Douglas says there's a future for the statue, just in a different form.
We are going to transform our trauma into something creative, something beautiful, and something important.
In it, you can clearly see Lewis striking a man in the head from behind before he turns around in shock.
Amazing. This is what our world is coming to, my country. Amazing. You know, before I go to the phones, I do want to say this to white Americans and whites around the world. You don't need to be afraid. It is abnormal to have a fearful nature. Being afraid is not a normal nature, it's an abnormal nature. And to white folk, you have been blessed by God to be very talented, innovative, and to create some of the most amazing things, countries and things in those countries that no other race has been able to do. And because of your belief in God, because as those people said in the first hour, the Bible is not for the blacks. They say it's for the whites. And so because your belief in God, in the Word, in God, you've been able to create a Western world like never before. But you have fear. And you invited people in, you brought in different colored people from SO countries, and they come into your country and they turn on you and take your country away from you. And take your country away. And then the people of color living here doing the same thing. They don't have it in them to do it, to create greatness. And rather than learn it from you, they want to destroy you so there's no reminder that they don't know how to do it. And once they do that, they mess up everything. You look around, you just see mess up. And there's no reason to say, why can't I do that? Because you've already been a part of mess up. And white folks, these people, we showed you some black guy, you just saw what Nick put together there. The guy just walking down the road looked like he was taking a daily walk or jogging at pier. Some black guy walk up to him, watch another person record it. I believe the other person was black too, record it. And according to the report, after they robbed him, they did this. And now they've been arrested. You don't hear that part, but they have, according to the news report. And white people are afraid of words. It is not normal. A word is just a word. That's all it is. It has no meaning unless you believe that it does. A word is just a word in the same manner that an idea is just an idea. That's all it is. It's nothing more. It's nothing more. It's just a word. Like the word racist, it's just a word. It has no meaning, period. But they put meaning around it and you believe it. And because you believe it, you become afraid. Human nature is evil. Human beings are evil. If you doubt me, look at the thing that drive you in your imagination and emotions. Emotions are evil. The ones that so-called feel good is evil. The ones that so-called feel bad is evil. They're both the same. And white people, you must return to the Father so you can overcome words. Because when they take your countries away from you, America and the rest of the places that you have built around the world, where will you go? And this attack upon whites, they have convinced a lot of so-called people of color, even though they have nothing to do with it. It's about you too. We're together against the whites, they say. And you run because you're afraid of words. In the meantime, your kids are getting beat up, robbed, raped. Your businesses are being broken into, destroyed. And yet you're afraid of a word. It's like being afraid of the word called death. I'm going to die. The word death is just a word. But you put meaning around it, now you're afraid of dying. No such thing as racism. It has never existed, never will exist, ain't going to exist, not exist, can't exist. It's an illusion. There's no such thing as white supremacy. And yet blacks truly believe that white people are superior to them. That's why they say it all the time. The white man is superior. That's why they try to dumb you down so they can take your stuff. They can't do it for themselves. And you're afraid of words. Return to the Father, forgive your mothers, and you will no longer be afraid of words. Everyone needs to do it, but just in case. This is from The Cut. Here's an example of white people being afraid of a word. This is from The Cut. Race to Dinner. Race, R-A-C-E, Race to Dinner, a reality TV show, gathers group of white women at the home of a host to facilitate a discussion about race over dinner. Watch this from X.
Actually, Margaret, you didn't say yours.
What?
Your racist thing that you've done.
Thought about or done.
You must have examples in your own life.
I also work in environmental engineering. I have absolutely no people of color, or minimal people of color, possibly the exclusion being slightly Hispanic.
Saira doesn't like her attitudes.
I can say a racist thing you've done because it just happened. When you just talked to me the way you just did. This is how white women talk to us all the time. These are microaggressions. The way you just spoke to me was straight up white supremacy.
Sounding terribly white. I don't know that I was all that racist to start with, but I also would be more aware or hyper aware of my thoughts or reactions to circumstances that would be racist.
I do think every white person in the United States is racist. You can be a really good person and still be racist.
Wow. Dumb women. They sat across the table and let some dumb, evil female convince them that it was something that they're not. And now they're going around and saying it. Men, take your children away from those women real fast before they screw them up. Those mothers who believe if they're mothers. They sat across the table and let some evil women convince them that there's something they're not, when no such thing as racism even exists. And now they believed into it. You can't convince them that it's not true. Because once you believe a lie, you can't believe anything but that lie. It reminds me of a scripture in the Bible where it says, where people going around saying certain things about Christ. And so when he went before the Pharisees or the military, one of them, they asked him, I've been hearing these things about you. Is it true or not? And Jesus would not answer. He would not respond, period. They're like, why don't you respond? And Jesus asked, why should I? Your mind is already made up. That's so deep to me, I hardly know how to handle it. It's so deep. When people's mind are already made up, why argue with them? Why try to prove them to anything? Their mind is already made up. Lay your weapon down. People are no good. Why? People are trash until they return to the Father, until they return to their true self. So why even bother with, how are you going to sit across a table and let trashy people tell you you're a racist? Why? I mean, even in your fallen state, it looked like that wouldn't make sense. Some things just don't make sense, you know what I mean? But these white women let some evil females convince them that they're racist. And those females were getting a thrill from convincing those white women of that. That stupid woman, oh, I can prove you're racist. You just, because of what you just said to me. What the? If I wasn't a Christian, I'd cuss right now. Amazing. Don't let anyone tell you that the human nature is not evil. It is. Your folks, your blood folks, your marriage, your everything. And white people, I want you to know, because they know you're afraid of words, they ain't going to stop, because that's what evil does. Evil's not going to stop destroying you just because you won't deal with it, right? Likewise, evil people are going to destroy the Western world because white people are afraid of words, and they're going to look around and just make up stuff because they know you're afraid of a word. You should be ashamed, pitiful, to be afraid of a word. Why don't you just give these people the finger? And they're not going to stop. After a while, even the words good morning will be considered racist. Anything that is white in their eyes are wrong because they hate good. And after a while, these people are going to be offended by the words good morning. Good morning, heartache. Here we go again. Good morning, heartache. Thought we said goodbye last night. I tossed and turned till it was dark. And now here you are back again. They ain't gonna want you to say good morning. They're gonna call that racist. So now what you gonna have to say? What's up, brother? What's up, sister? They're gonna call good morning racism. That's how blind and evil they are. The human heart is evil. And if you can see it in yourself and overcome it, you're going to clearly see it in others without even trying. They will be offended by the phrase, good morning. If you doubt me, watch this from TikTok.
Good morning. It was really a mockery towards black slaves and them making fun of what they did to their people when someone was hung, killed, or sold off to a different plantation. So that was their way of being funny. Did you have a good morning? Did you have a good cry about that person's death? Did you have a good cry about your daughter being taken away from you and sold off somewhere else? Did you have a good cry of your brother being hung yesterday? That was their way of being funny. Good morning, everyone.
Wow, see there? Even good morning, beautiful hello to you. Good morning. They call it that racist. Are you still going to be afraid of words, white American, in your own country? Why don't you show these people the door to out of my country? Even good morning is bad for these dark people, dark at heart. The battle is a spiritual battle, it's not physical. Evil is working through these people to come up with all this stuff. Just like evil is working through white people to be afraid of words. I want you to see how wicked this female is for saying this. She even look wicked, sound wicked, ain't speaking right, or anything. Watch this from TikTok. Offended by the phrase, good morning. We don't have it?
Wait, the one we just played?
Yeah.
Oh.
What the? You too busy to put that suit on the dog. The pumpkin suit.
Good morning. It was really a mockery towards black slaves and them making fun of what they did to their people when someone was hung, killed, or sold off to a different plantation. So that was their way of being funny. Did you have a good
That was
morning?
their way.
Did you have a good cry about that
The
person's
problem is their
death?
hair.
Did you have a good cry about your daughter being taken away from you and sold off somewhere else?
Did you cry when your
Did you
mama
have a
did
good
your
cry
hair
of
like
your
that?
brother being hung yesterday? That was their way of being funny. Good morning, everyone.
Amazing. And that's a young person. Things ain't going to get better. The black society is cursed to doom and destruction. Except for those who decide to pull away from the crowd of the black thinking, of the evil heart. And they are free. They're not doomed, but they are free. But most blacks are doomed. Generation after generation, only getting worse because they are cursed with evil. And you're afraid of them. And you run to your own destruction. In the meantime, all this is happening. Meanwhile, planes are crashing above our heads. Remember a while back we talked about how the air traffic controllers were hiring people not because they were qualified, but because they were of their color, male or female. And they were hiring all these black people who are not qualified. I told you, that's not good. That we're going to start having more crashes in the air and the plane's going to be trying to land and the Federation, the people for air traffic control are not going to know how to read the computer board. They ain't going to be able to tell those folks how to come in. I can hear it now. Hello? Hey, this is Pilot John White coming in from Texas, landing on Field 1. Okay, let me look. Lord, they coming in. Let me look. Hold on. Looking out the window because they can't read the board. Okay, land over yonder, and that field look pretty clear. And they land over there near crash. Oh, my Lord, not over there, baby. I thought that was east. But that's the wrong field. I ain't mean that one. I just looked out the window and I ain't see no plane. And God forbid if the air traffic controller say, "Good morning, this is Captain John White coming in on landing on Field 5. Good morning. You can't be saying no good morning. Are you celebrating slavery?" Ma'am, I don't have time to be arguing with you right now about no slave. I'm trying to land. No, you said good morning. I'm going to file racist against you. That's when the slave owner was laughing when they were saying good morning. Y'all don't believe that's possible? Keep on living. How bad can it get before you wake up? Nearly every day we almost hear about near miss. Because you put the people in control of the air traffic and flying the plane that don't have the qualification. You have to lower the SAT score to get them in there. This is affirmative action reparation at work. And they're putting all our lives at risk. According to the Daily Caller, according to its website, Biden's FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, is striving to enlist a diverse workforce through diversity hiring, meaning unqualified black people and unqualified females. They're striving to do it and get all of us killed. as I continue with this report, including for black people. They're striving to enlist a diverse workforce through diversity hiring, including for black people, Hispanic people, and women. At the same time, air traffic controllers are experiencing numerous issues, including staffing shortage and close call incidents. I rest my case. White people, it's just a word. It has no meaning unless you believe it. And all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And when somebody gets angry at you, they're just going to lie. They'll make up stuff that's in their own heads, and that's not what you're thinking at all. The blacks are angry. And they're thinking things that's not even true. But they believe it. When you run, it says that what they were thinking was true, even though it was a lie. And in the homes today of the blacks, and now it's starting to happen to the other races of people, there are no standards because the men are not leading the way. It is manhood hour, but the men are not leading the way. They have turned their home, their children, their home over to the woman. And it's just all hell to pay because the light of leadership is in the man, it's not in the woman. Women were created to follow, men were created to lead, and you can't make it be any other way. Watch this from TMZ if you doubt me. Ex-NBA player Joe Smith is absolutely losing it after finding out his partner, no, not another man, but a woman, supposed to be girlfriend or wife, but his partner, a former adult actress. When I was going over this with Sean, it said adult actress. I'm like, what do you mean adult actress? Can't we see it? He's like, no, it means something else. Has an OnlyFans account. Watch this from TikTok.
I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it.
Okay, look, so I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it. I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my choice?
Your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to you're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. Hey. You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I have to find out on the fly.
She loving this.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay. And so? Whatever. I've been doing what I have to do, period. Like, that's bottom line. That's what it is.
That's evil. He should dump her so fast and make her dizzy. Swimming in the head. She would be dumped so fast. She was loving the thrill of the guy being angry. That's why she did it. That's why she's recording it. More thrills. That's evil. And according to TMZ, these people have money. Smith reportedly made $61 million in his career, but only pocketed around $18 million after taxes and agent fees. Among other expenses, he has since opened up about his money problem. The problem not the money, is that female. You can't live off $18 million. What the? When I come back, your phone calls and super chat. They call that being bad with money. $18 million. And she got a OnlyFans fan page, whatever that is. I'll be back in a moment. Check out my book, For Race to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. Okay, welcome back. Quick announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. And by the way, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And today, James Hake has a guest. Krishan, the Dawn. Today on the HakeReport.com. I had him on he was on the Father State a couple of years ago a few years ago. So he's on the Hake Report today at from 9 to 11, the HakeReport.com. And then after the Hake Report at 12 noon, the American Anchor Babe. The American Anchor Babe. Fly high. Not off pot, not off fentanyl, not off alcohol, but natural energy on loan from God. As the late, great Rush Limbaugh would say, and may his soul rest in peace. Natural energy. All right? At 12 noon Pacific time. I just want to finish this story, then I go to your calls, where this ex-NBA player found out, according to a report from TMZ, that his girlfriend had a OnlyFans page account, and they make all this money, and he didn't know it. It almost looked like it was staged when I was looking at both of them there. That she looked like she was doing it to get some more viewers to her OnlyFans page or something. But it could be real. It seemed to be real because the guy seemed pretty chick. But it almost looked like it was fake. I'm just saying. And people do a lot of fake things online now to get attention. But anyway, it's been reported from TMZ that this guy made $61 million in his career, but only pocketed $18 million. You can't live off $18 million? What the? And they call that being bad with money. Apparently, some of the money went to his manager and other people, among other expenses. So he was ticked at this woman, and she didn't care. She loved the thrill that she brought up on this man. Whether they're acting or not, you can see in her face, she didn't care. So according to TMZ, this guy should have dumped her. If it's real, he should have dumped her. So right there, you're out of here, bye. Pack your thing and get out. And just threw her out. Well, where am I going? I don't know. I don't care. You're just out of here. Go to your fan page. TMZ reporting Keisha Chavez joined TMZ Live to address the now viral video. She's pumping this all the way. Watch this from TMZ.
So he's been, I think he's at his sister's house. He's not talking to me right now. So, yeah.
She love it.
I've had the page for at least over a year. It's on my Instagram and my LinkedIn, but that's what happens when you don't pay attention to your wife, period. Not everybody's hustle and drive are the same. And depression is a serious thing also. So, I've been just supporting and dealing and going through his trials and tribulations with him, and he won't do it. So I had to. And I'm sorry, you knew I was an adult video star when you met me. So if I would do anything for my own survival, then what makes you think that would change now? It was a decision that I made. I made an executive decision when my man wasn't taking the lead. I'm tired of being the one to figure it out. So I'm tired of living minimal, It's not fair. He's not really wanting the best for himself, so I can't expect him to do for him what he can't do for himself, I guess. And that's why I just did what I had to do. I don't think we'll have a divorce. I don't think so. I think he'll come around.
Wow. It just seemed like an act for some reason. But dump this female, man. What's $18 million ain't enough for her to live on? She's playing him because he's weak. He is weak. She is playing him. What a mess. Men, return to your father. Forgive your mothers. Forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. And return to God and return to your natural state of order. And the woman will no longer be your God. Then you become the light of the world and she could follow. Other than that, you're going to catch the same kind of hell. I wouldn't even argue with her about it. You got an OnlyFans page? What the? She said she was an adult. What she said? What kind of star was she? Adult. Sister?
Film actress.
No, but that's what she called it? What did she say, Sean? Adult video star. How you gonna be a star from being an adult video? What? How does that make you a star? Doesn't that make you a slut?
Yeah, exactly. It's X-rated.
Whoa. Adult video slut, not star. A star is that beautiful thing in the sky at night. When you look up and the stars are everywhere. There are no other stars. I rest my case. But this man is beta. And men are beta today. And that's why these women going stone nuts. Look at the women telling you what cafe if you're going to take them to any of those cafes they listed, they don't want to go. They want to go somewhere else. And you're like, oh, okay. Instead of giving them the finger and leaving them at home. Man, are you lead or the world is over? God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman. Let me go to Chastity, a first-time caller out of New York. Cassidy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm a 7th grader, and I have a question.
You're in the 7th grade?
My mom listened to you, and she told me that you think that Jesus is not God, but my church and teachers believe differently. Why do you think that?
You say you're in the 7th grade?
Yeah.
How old are you?
11.
Oh, and who told you this?
My mom.
Oh, okay. And what do you believe?
I'm not sure.
Oh, good. I would recommend you leave it at not sure until you know for yourself. Don't believe it because somebody else said it. Then you would know God, you would know the Son, you would know the Father for yourself. But I know that Jesus is the Son of God. He is not God. God is God, and He is the daddy of Jesus Christ, and Jesus is the Son of the Father.
Okay, thank you.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Right. So don't let anyone, once you see it for yourself, don't let anyone convince you any differently. Otherwise, you're going to be angry and lonely like those people that are telling you that, all right?
Okay.
It's good to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Amazing. Everyone that tell you Jesus is God, you better be trying to get out of there. They're keeping you in hell with them. They'll keep you in hell with them. I promise you, anyone that's telling you Jesus is God has fear. They don't have perfect peace. They can't deal with life in the right way. They're trembling. Josh, there's one line open, by the way, at 888-7753-773. Josh out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was calling for that biblical question.
Are you a pitiful person?
No, I'm not.
And why do you say you're not?
Because the pitiful things that I do, I don't take credit for them. I'm not even sure if they are pitiful, but I guess I don't take credit for any of my actions, whether they're not pitiful or they are pitiful.
What type of pitiful things you do?
Typical vices, get drunk, text my ex,
You get drunk and kick
run from sit and steal.
You say you get drunk and kick your ex?
Yeah.
You kick her?
No, I text her. Call her.
Oh, I thought you said get drunk and kick my ex.
Oh.
And why do you still text her?
You said, why do I?
Yeah.
Because I just want to use her to escape.
I'm sorry?
Pain. Because I just want to use her.
To do what?
I said because I just want to use her.
For what reason?
Feel good.
And how long ago you broke up with her? She became an ex.
Years ago.
And you still feel it? You ain't over it yet?
I don't know, man. I don't know how to. That's why I say I don't know if I can take credit for it. I don't know how to stop.
What are you feeling for her after years? How many years?
It's not even that I'm feeling anything. It's like, I know it's not going to work. I tell her that, and I don't know. I just want to talk to her.
And so how many years you broke up with her?
Probably 4 or 5 years ago, man.
What the?
Yeah.
And does she text you too, or you text her?
You know what happens? I block her after. I tell her I'm going to block her, and then I unblock her and call her when I'm drunk. And I don't know. It's like a vicious cycle. I don't know when I'll stop. I don't know how to stop. I deleted the number, and I don't know. I go find it again. It's like I just kind of gave up.
What's wrong with you?
She's aware. Huh?
If you can, you can hear. What's wrong with you?
There's something in me that I need to stop feeding.
For 5 years, how old are you?
I'm 36.
And so, how old is she?
She's about 2 years younger than me. 34.
And so, what does she think about you after 5 years of breakup? You tell her, I'm blocking you, I'm doing this, I ain't gonna talk to you no more. And every time you get drunk, here you come. What does she think about that?
She hates me for it.
Does she say it?
You know, she just try to, no, she don't say it. She just try to, she trying to control me, and I know that, but I'm just as bad as her because I want to talk to her.
How is she trying to control you?
You know how women want, say, they want a husband or they want a boyfriend, but we don't agree on anything, but we're still attracted to each other because the demons in us are attracted to each other.
So what is preventing you after 5 years? What is preventing you from just taking that ego pain so you can get past this and have a life?
Let's see. Yeah, the thoughts.
And since you know what it is, why do you still give into it?
I don't know. I'm just weak like that.
And how often do you get drunk?
Maybe like once a month.
So you call her once a month?
Yeah, that's about how, you know, and then it's like, then I stop, you know, I tell her, she knows the routine, you know, it's like a whole routine. It's usually about once or twice a month. And, I don't know, you know, I do the silent prayer after and before. I don't miss the silent prayer. And, you know, hopefully it'll die away.
What made you get drunk when you get drunk? You just, what, like, right now, you know, like you're just walking down the road and eat some ham hocks or whatever. And what made you decide, let me get drunk? Let me get drunk. What made you decide that?
Usually when I'm off work and there's just nothing to do.
You're like, oh, well, nothing to do. I might as well get drunk and call Keisha Chavez.
It's like that. You have that caller call in, the guy from Canada that called in. I get exactly like that. Exactly.
Wow.
You know? So.
What a mess.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So here's what I recommend. I got to run because of time here.
Yeah.
The next time the thought come, for both, when it comes to tell you to get drunk, oh, you're bored, you might well get, you know, have a little drink. Don't do it.
Right.
Take the pain of not doing it.
Okay.
Just know that that's not you telling you that, and take the pain of not doing it.
Right.
And then when it tell you, call up Keisha Chavez, or whatever your girlfriend name.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Take the pain of not doing it. Stop listening to the thought. You know that all thoughts are lies, but you're still believing them by acting on them.
Right.
And so
I do that, and I know that sometimes, and sometimes I can not do it, and then I guess I think I'm over it because I went 8 months one time, you know, 8 months and didn't do it, didn't drink, and then something happened and I fell back into it. So
well, don't count the days, just don't do it.
Oh, right.
And don't call, don't text or call your girlfriend ex anymore, and just take the pain of it. It's not you; it will die. You know what I mean?
All right. Yep. Yeah, I do.
But you got to take the pain.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because when you give into it, when you overreact, and when you give into it, you feed it life, and that's what keeps it inside of you.
Yeah.
All right, man, that's an amazing story. And thank you for responding to the biblical question. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday.
All right. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Super chat. Super.
Becca 0408 on Rumble, generous Rumble ran Happy Halloween, Jack-o'-lantern emoji, and Merry Christmas. Hallelujah, amen. Christmas tree emoji.
The same to you. Thank you. Amazing.
On Buy Me a Coffee, Iwan Ma, free spaceship, please. Bought a coffee. If the Blats invented everything, why are they the only race with sickle cell? And wouldn't that mean that they made Christianity? Beta brains.
I know, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. The black made everything. But you don't see nothing that they made or nothing that they've done lately or in the last 150,000 years that is good. What amazing. Thank you.
Someone bought you 5 coffees with no message.
Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that's all for now.
Thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. Let me go to a first-time caller, Milton, out of Miami, Florida. Milton.
See, long-time listener. Hopefully, Jesse.
Welcome to the show, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just that last gentleman. I was hearing your talk with him, and I got to say, keep it up, man. We love your show over here. Been listening to you for a year. And you're right. You're completely right. He needs to, like the church, the Bible says, die to self.
Yes.
Die to self. I myself have struggled with alcohol my entire adult life, from my early 20s to now early 40s, and it's been a year of sobriety now. And I gotta say, die to self. Pray feverishly every single day, multiple times a day, and take the suck for now. Take the suck, and in the long term, once you hit that 6 month to a year mark, you'll start to see the changes in your life and how God works in you. So,
do you want
to encourage that guy?
Have you overcome your anger?
Anger, yeah. Anger has gotten a lot better. I used to have a very short fuse, short temper, and it's everything. Praying out to God.
And so, have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Wow, yeah, that was something that I had to do. I had to let that go too. My father.
Did you go and forgive her?
Yeah, I've had these conversations with her.
You told her you were sorry for resenting her for what she did to you?
Yeah,
Good.
Mother and father, both.
Nice. Well, Milton, do the silent prayer, and God will take away the nature, the abnormal nature, which includes the alcohol and everything, and he will give you his nature. Because that alcohol nature is just from evil. It's not of God, and it's not from you.
Of course. Amen, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate everything you're doing, Jesse. Keep it up.
I will. Thank you, buddy. Bye now. Amazing. Let me go quickly to Joe out of Arizona. Let's see here. Joe, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Joe.
Jesse, I think I figured it out. I know you like to focus on the ghetto matriarchal mindset, which is why you keep repeating the same lie about the black air traffic controller story. I'm just curious as to why you keep repeating that same lie.
What's the lie about the story?
As I've told you many times before, Jesse, the FAA investigated at the urging of Congress, because that's a national safety issue. FAA investigated, found no cheating, no lowering of standards, no nothing, as reported by Fox News.
So listen, so are you saying, this is from the Daily Mail, according to its website, Biden's FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, is striving to enlist a diverse workforce through diversity hiring, including for blacks, Hispanics, and women. Are they lying about that?
They want it more diverse, but they're not lowering standards.
Are they lying about that?
Are they lying about being more diverse? No. Are they lying about
well, you know that the blacks don't
No.
qualify because the blacks don't work hard, they don't study.
That's
and
the lie,
and so they lower the standard. That's why they call it a diverse or diversity, because they're not requiring the blacks to be prepared for it. They're only letting them in there because of their color. Thank you, Joe. I gotta run. Call me again, Joe. Interesting. I'm just saying what the Daily Caller said. And watch how many, every day you almost hear about near crash. The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com from 9 to 11. And Hake has a guest today, Krishan Dunn, Krishan the Don on the Hake Report today. And then at 12 noon, American Anchor Baby. All right. So do what you want, but you can have paradise right here on earth, or you can stay in your hell. But you, as an individual, got to work on you. You got to take this road by yourself. Go and forgive mama, forgive your fathers, return to your father, do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/church. I'm telling you, stick with it. Stick with it, men and women of all ages and races. You'll be fine. It'll be heaven on earth. And then when you die, drop your body, you'll still be in heaven. Or you'll still be in hell if your heart don't change from anger to love. Have a good one, folks. Amazing show today. I appreciate it. Check out the JLP Friday TV from E-Black. JLP Friday TV. Bye. Bye.
You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
You must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Other than sex, I wonder, why would a man even need a woman today? Women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They're in competition with men. They don't want to be wives and mothers. Some want to get married, but they don't want to live in that proper position of life. Because the only purpose of marriage is to have a family. And that's been known forever. And so if you don't want to have children, there is no need to get married. And so I was wondering, why would a man even get married today? I never thought I'd see the day when women would come out of her natural role and be like a man. Even though she hate that role. When she was with a man that's weak, she hate him. But if he try to be strong, she'll stop it. I never imagined that. You're seeing good destroyed and abnormal is presented as normal.
Thank you, Jesse Lee.